Greetings, Earthlets. It is I, Gatekeeper. As you can see, we're still stuck in our reality-shifting predicament. The doctor is working around the clock to try and fix it, and I believe he's nearly finished, but in the meantime, we've got some new comic book releases to have a look at, so without further ado, let's have a look. Up first, from Scout Comics, we have Black Friday. Black Friday is the biggest shopping day of the year. Millions of Americans pack the aisles of retail outlets all over the country, battling for the best bargains. While an unlucky cleanup crew deals with the aftermath of the latest Black Friday frenzy, they discovered that years of pent-up negative energy has released something very evil and dark into their superstore, which is just the way corporate wanted it. And now moving on to DC Comics, we have Legend of the Dark Knight. The iconic Legends of the Dark Knight is back. Comic icons and rising stars alike will tell all new stories across the Batman mythos, beginning with the comic legend and co-creator of The Boys, Derek Robertson, writing and drawing an epic 3-issue supervillain crime drama. A new team player has arrived on the scene in Gotham City and is selling deadly chemicals to the worst villains in the town. Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, and even the Joker. It's up to Batman to stop the villains, track down the supplier, and save Gotham City once more. Staying with DC, it's the return of the legendary Milestone Comics. This one-shot features 24 all-new pages chronicling the events of the Big Bang, the police brutality protest gone wrong that changed the face of the city of Dakota forever by unleashing a wave of superpowers across its population. As the world watches, a bullied teenager will become the hero known as Static. A framed scientist will go on the run as the superweapon Hardware. And the stranded alien will meet an ambitious young woman who will transform his life and remake the pair as the all-powerful Icon and Rocket. Also included is the 17-page primer story originally released online during the world-famous DC fandom event, further expanding on our heroes' origins and where they're going next, and setting up an entire world of allies, enemies, and surprises. The original Milestone changed the face of superhero comics forever, introducing the industry to a wave of black talent who still shape the conversation. And this new Milestones intends to raise the bar. This is the perfect jumping on point, so don't miss out. Up next, and spinning out of the DC future state, it's Mr. Miracle, the Source of Freedom. The story of how Shiloh Norman became Mr. Miracle of Tomorrow starts here. The Mr. Miracle show used to be the hottest ticket in town, whether you caught him on stage escaping from perilous traps or spotted him on the streets of Metropolis taking out bad guys. What Shiloh Norman forgot is the first rule of showbiz and superheroing: always leave them wanting more. Now it's time to start showing the world what a miracle man can do. Showbiz and superhero rule number 2, timing is everything. There's a new performer in town who wants to knock Mr. Miracle off his pedestal and stake a claim to his famous moniker. Can Shiloh break free of this trap? Why, yes, this is a clue. Up next, we have another belated release. It's Ruby, Justice League. The DC Universe and the world of Ruby collide in a new miniseries. Discover the Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, and Diana Prince of Remnant, as Team Ruby comes face to face with new versions of DC's Paragons of Justice. A new Grim is running rampant around the island of Patch, and Ruby and Yang must team up with a young farm boy to stop it. Meanwhile, Blake meets a mysterious woman who's appeared on Menagerie. But what is her purpose? And why does she act like she hasn't been around modern society? And the final comic book from DC this week is Stargirl Spring Break Special. Courtney Whitmore's spring break plans aren't like your average high schoolers. Instead of hanging around with her friends, she's heading out on an adventure with her stepfather, Pat Dugan, aka Stripe, and teaming up with her former team, the 7 Soldiers of Victory. The soldiers are forced to reunite again to unearth the secret 8th Soldier of Victory. But what have the secrets lie buried, and what does it all mean for Courtney's future as Stargirl? You know what you have to do, Orflets? If you want to find out, buy the book. Now moving along to Marvel Comics. Following the Heroes Reborn, we have 3 new tie-in books. Up first, Magneto and the Mutant Force. Can Magneto resurrect hope for mutant kind before it's too late? Years ago, Magneto and Professor X led Earth's mutants in a final push for independence against the Squadron Supreme of America. What followed was Squadron Supreme's Mutant Massacre, a violent rebuttal that left mutant kind forever wounded and Xavier dead. Or so Magneto thought. Years later, Magneto discovers Xavier clinging to life in the astral plane and gathers his allies for a first-of-its-kind rescue mission. Too bad the same mission puts the mutant force back on the squadron's radar. Failure means the last gasp of mutant kind, but success means the first breaths of something even more elusive to the mutant of Heroes Reborn: hope. Up next, we have Siege Society. After the civil war that split the Squadron Supreme in half, Nighthawk found his own squadron in Europe. But not all of Europe is okay with it. Baron Zemo has put together his own team to take them down. Who's on this team? Natasha Romanoff, Clint Barton, Scott Lang, and Victor Creed. The squadron doesn't stand a chance. Our final Heroes Reborn tie-in this week is Young Squadron. The Squadron Supreme of America have taken root in the hearts and minds of all, but none more so than a trio of youthful champions who call themselves the Young Squadron. Kid Spectrum, Girl Power, and the all-new Falcon are here to fight for truth, justice, and the American flag. Or are they? Beneath the flashy facade of colorful adventure, something grim is staring, and Deadpool is determined to bring it all to light. And finally this week from Marvel Comics, Reptile. In the wake of Kamala's law and his grandfather's worsening health, Humberto Lopez, aka Reptile, has taken a step back from crime fighting to refocus on his family. Perhaps it's a sign that he should give up on becoming a hero and fully come to terms with his parents' mysterious disappearance. Or perhaps not. When a mysterious figure ambushes Humberto, what unravels will shake the core of everything Humberto thought he knew about his past, and will either change the course of his future or end it forever. Well, Earthlets, we've gone through 10 new comic book releases this week. Which will you be reading? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. You can also follow all the great geeky goodies from Wakefield Comics-616 across all other forms of social media with the tag @WakeyComics616. So, until next time, Earthlets.
I think I finally got it. Here goes nothing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.